I want to try to do it again. Like I want to start another business
Yeah.
with my name on it now, and see if I could do it again.
What's up, y'all? Brothers of Business and Barbells, Kamea here. I uh I had this thought. I know a bunch of brothers of mine, not literally, but that are in the same stage, you know what I'm saying, that are in the same mindset as I am. And I'm actually gonna call them up and then just find out what's going on, and then I'll edit it and I'll share with you guys. But I think there's a lot of people starting to realize that that's where I'm at. And I'm about to talk with a guy that I met probably 2, 3 months ago. We actually connected online through Instagram. He's a very, very heavy lifting Polynesian Samoan guy. His name's Matt Tanuvasa, and I'm about to hit him up. And hope you guys enjoy this interview. He's a super cool guy. He's really strong, like all around. You know what I'm saying? Physically he's strong, but like mentally, when I met with him, I mean, I could just get a sense that, you know, he won't break. You know what I mean? Under pressure, and you could tell by his story. I mean, he lost, I think, 100 pounds in 100 days or something like that. And I just think it's super fascinating when you get to know people and sort of break down what are the hidden rules behind how they actually got to where they got, or how they accomplished that goal. And so today we're going to talk about that. And here we
What up, dude?
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, man, just chilling,
Nice, nice.
chilling.
You at home right now?
I am here in Salon, just a few miles away from our house, so it's pretty nice. Oh,
Nice.
up at Thanksgiving Point.
Thanksgiving Point. At your house?
Just right. It's not too far. I'd
Not
say
too
like
far.
5 minutes from our house.
It's Thanksgiving Point because I all I remember about that place is their shopping center because they got the nicest bathrooms I ever been to in my life because they're all private and man, my brother was just like, dude, check out the bathrooms.
And we just had a baby a couple months ago, Zion.
Dang, congratulations, man. That's
Thanks, dude.
awesome. All boys. How you feel about that? Was your wife like super
You know,
excited and pumped or
actually, she was excited about it because um, she's had practice.
okay.
She's had practice with the others. So,
Yeah, they got someone to play with.
yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
it's
good.
cool. I'm happy about it. I mean, that's three chances to get one of those kids in the NFL. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
that's the dream over there, man. Dang, you got to get into those. Dude, it seems like the camps there start when the kids are like, I don't know, 6 months, a year old. Frick.
Dude, they start early. It's crazy. And then the cost is also going up like crazy too. So
It's like, are they a little more affordable or are they about the same too? Same thing?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh man, like I don't know what affordable is anymore. And nowadays, everybody's trying to, you know what I mean? It's
Yep.
like
Yep.
everybody's got their. I don't know. I don't know. I try to stay away from that because I get pissed off about like. So I've got little cousins that go to those camps,
Hmm.
and it's like crazy. One, because the amount of kids that they have already, and then the price that they're paying, and they don't even get like. I mean, for the price, if I'm gonna pay that kind of money, I better get a one-on-one with a coach or one-on-one with someone. You know what I mean? To
Yep.
get that exposure, I don't think you're getting that maximizing exposure time.
Right.
So
No, that's
for
super
me, it's
interesting,
not worth
man.
it.
The whole sport camp industry, you know, after a while, I think most industries people start to catch on. And I'll be honest with you, I think Polynesians in general, like we have to be careful because a lot of the times we jump on a little late. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then so we have to introduce ourselves at a price that's like pretty high. you know,
Right.
and you just have to be willing to compete at that price. But it can be tough sometimes, especially when you're walking in there expecting like the Polynesian discount. And it's like, nope, this thing's more expensive than that other one.
Yeah, you don't get that around here.
Nothing,
I
man.
don't. I don't think you get that anywhere.
Yeah, which is okay, you know, as long as they're providing the value. But you know, people get fancy. You know, their camps they get a lot of equipment and they get certain guys.
For the poly camps or the poly camp that they have out here every year, I think it's just guys that are like of Polynesian descent that are coaching in these colleges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think it's just those guys, and then once in a while they get some Palangi dude or something like that. Like
Yeah,
this year, they had Whittingham over there, which is it's cool because he's already been around the Polynesian culture and a lot of poly kids.
yeah.
He recruits a lot of them, so everybody knows his face. But I
So
don't know.
who's your Palangi guy? Because every Polynesian dude's got like a guy. Who's your guy?
I don't know, man. I mean, like Phil. So Phil has been introducing me to all of these dudes, and none of them are poly. So it's like it's for me. It's like I get excited about meeting these guys because it's something new. It's something that I've never ever been introduced to,
Yeah,
and so I try to take advantage of expanding these relationships that one he's introducing me to, and it's been really helpful.
wow, that's good, man. Who is your
Yeah.
who is your I've seen a number of videos you guys interviewed. What was your favorite interview that you did so far on Bulaleka?
The one that I really related to a lot was the one we did last week with Yosamo.
Oh, okay.
I related to that a lot more than the others just because, and I know, we're those two guys are Polynesian as well, but it's just something that hits home for me as far as things that I've gone through personally, like
Right.
experience wise.
Yeah.
Like I just relate with that whole, where we come from, the name we carry, just all of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hey, do you ever watch Dame Dash?
I
Any
don't
of
know.
any of
No,
his interviews? Yeah,
I
he always
don't.
says, "Stop hustling for your first name, hustle for your last name." And I've always liked that saying because it completely changes the perspective on why you're doing what you're doing, and that sounds a lot like what you were talking about there. You know how you do what you do and how that's connected to the Tanuvasa name.
Ever since I stopped playing football, I kind of just lost track of one following, and like I don't really. I'm so obsessed with trying to make something other than football. Football's always been my life
Yeah,
growing up, and so now it's like I don't want that to just be like that. Right now is just the memory of my life.
yeah,
It's time to make something else,
yeah.
and so lately, like I don't really follow. I don't really care. I've got a little cousin who will be playing at Navy. Like that's probably the most I'll be following is going to his games. But
It's interesting that you say that. I stopped watching sports probably like 2, 3 years ago. Mostly because I saw how it was an obsession. You know what I mean? You start memorizing stats and watching trades, and pretty soon it's like, what else are you doing? It's
right.
like a full time job trying to keep up with sports, and so I haven't watched a single game in like 2, 3 years. I cut the cable. Like, dude, I have no idea what's going on. People try to talk to me, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on, man. Don't talk to me about sports. If you want to talk business, I'm down because I love that
See,
space.
and that's
But
what I want. Like I want to learn everything about business.
yeah,
Like that's that's something that I want to know.
yeah.
I don't care to know what BYU's doing or Utah's doing. I don't care. Like to me, it's like
Sorry, why
it's
you
just a
just lost a
game, dude.
fan? You just lost a fan. No, you're still a fan, but I know what you're saying. Just you have priorities right now, and it's not going to happen if you're watching BYU games all day.
I mean, I get it. A lot of people like if that's your thing and you love and enjoy that sport, like it's your getaway, then cool. My getaway is at 5 in the morning to 7 in the morning, and that's it.
Yep,
That's the only getaway I need. And
yep,
if I don't get those, then everything else doesn't align. But Once I get that in, it's all good.
Well, let's switch gears to that because I'm interested sort of how you're transitioning right now. Oh, don't worry about it, dude. Let them scream. It's all good. I'm interested how you're transitioning your mindset, your focus, and everything like that with lifting. Now that you're also doing a lot of focused business stuff and trying to get that stuff going, how has your approach changed to lifting, or is it exactly the same as it's always been?
I think for me at least, principles will always align as far as what you do in the gym and then what you do, what I want to do for business. Nobody else is going to put in the work in the gym for you. You want to look a certain way. You want to feel a certain way. Like that's time. They call it like time under tension. So I want to be the strongest guy at 200 pounds. Only way to be the strongest guy. One is to get my weight down. Two, to spend time under the bar, under tension. The more and more time I spend under it and continuously building that strength, the more stronger I'll get. And I
Yeah.
feel like that will go towards the whole me wanting to be a businessman. The more time I spend studying and researching and understanding different concepts, different angles in the business world, the better I'll understand how to handle situations. That makes sense?
Oh, absolutely, man. The analogy is so good. When I work out with my brother Ali, we talk about that a lot. How it's it becomes like a very very strong analogy to putting yourself under pressure. It grounds you. That's what I love about working out is that, you know, 1,000 pounds is 1,000 pounds. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
just no faking it. If you can't lift whatever amount that you're trying to lift, you know, in business, it's easy to lie. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make it seem like you're bigger than you really are, or that you're making more money than you really are, but not in the gym, man. Like there's just no lying there. And so it's like a great analogy for life and for business. So I get what you're talking about 100%.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing for me. And then I always, I don't know. I go on these phases where I'll feel like on a high, and you could tell on my Instagram posts, like I'll start posting stuff, and then there are times where it's like, okay, well, I know I just need to work, like I just need to put in the work, and so I won't post as much,
Yeah.
and maybe, and that's what I see, like for the business aspect of it is that sometimes I don't mind like telling people like that's what I want to be. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to do.
Right.
Then there are other times where it's like, okay, I just need to shut my mouth and work. I just need
Yeah.
to do it. You know what I mean?
It's a tough balance to. I know what you're saying. It's a subtle difference that I think people are more respectful of the authenticity of you documenting versus the fancy created posts that make it look
Right.
like your life is super fun, that you're super, this or whatever. And but it's hard. I know what you're saying because even with what I'm doing, there's only so much that I want to say. I feel that a lot too. Like, just shut up and work, man. Don't talk about
Right.
business. Don't talk about whatever. But at the same
Right.
time, this is part of me investing in others. It's part of me investing in myself. Is creating that so that when I look back 10 years from now, I'll be like, yeah, I knew Matt. It's the number one thing that criticism that you would have of that whole game.
Part of me loves the creative, and that's just human nature. Everybody
Yeah.
loves people like creating a certain, I don't know, PR, for example.
Yeah.
When you hit a PR, almost seems like people are creating like a different, I don't know, it's more exciting than it actually is.
Yeah.
Like it's fake. It's fake. I think the biggest thing about fitness is that it's fake. And so a lot of people use that whole like creative to make it seem like it's something different. For me, I go into the gym and if I hit a PR, like you see the weight, there's no I don't know, fancy music around it. There's no everybody just like it's just go in, do the work, done. That's it.
Yeah. That's actually one of my big criticisms of like I think people fake their reactions. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
when they hit a PR or when they do something great, they almost plan their reaction. And you can tell. And you're like, man,
Right.
dude, you've been saving this. You've been
Right.
plotting how to react, and I think that's one big thing about social media, which is why I think live video is going to be a bigger and bigger thing, because we don't want this packaged reaction to a thing that you plotted out 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So there's a fine line between marketing PR and then you just trying to like fake it and make it look like there was a big celebration and confetti whenever you accomplish something. Because like you
See, and I
said,
don't like that because
yep,
it's the same thing. I feel like you do that in everything. I mean, if you do it in one aspect of your life, you're going to do it in other ones.
right,
Like, why do you need to show off? I get the whole like you accomplished something. Like I get that. Like you definitely celebrate that.
yeah,
But I don't think you I don't know over exaggerate all of the celebration stuff. It's just another accomplishment. Like, cool, boom, let's go for another one.
yeah,
Let's work towards accomplishing something else.
yeah.
And so I don't know. Like my celebrations are boring whenever I hit a PR. It's just like
It's like, okay, cool. Yep.
next.
Yeah, and especially when you're in a world where it seems like everybody's celebrating every little thing. I mean, I've even heard lots of stories about people going out just to capture the selfie, and then they go home like they're not even like they don't even want to be there. Either they don't want to go out to the celebration or to the event. They just want to take the selfie so it looks like they showed up. That's one thing that I've been really trying to challenge myself is that if you're going to post something or do something, make sure you're about it, right? Like make sure you're like knee deep into this stuff because otherwise, you'll fall off real quick. Let's switch gears here for a minute because I want to hear more about where you're at with your business. Give me a quick rundown of where you're at, and then one of the things that you're trying to improve or work on, and we'll see if I can.
So we've been continuously doing good, building a lot more relationships with these facilities that we're doing business. So
Yeah,
transportation company, and it's been really cool to see the growth because I was the one from the start that one was got it built up, and so for me it's like it's awesome because I've never had that experience. I've always been the guy behind the scenes, picking up trash or or framing a house or like nobody really cares about. And so to actually be the face of the company, and then to say that I actually was all of it, meaning I was the guy going out and marketing. I was the guy going out and getting business. I was the guy, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I had multiple roles. There wasn't just one.
yeah.
To see the business now, I think it's crazy to see the growth, and so that's what I'm addicted to. And so I want to try to do it again. Like I want to start another business
Yeah.
with my name on it now, and see if I could do it again.
Nice. So any ideas about which sphere you're trying to get into, or are you trying to look into the same kind of industry that you're in right now?
I don't want to do. I don't know. I definitely feel like I've built a relationship with facilities and hospitals, and
Because
see
right now
lots
you're in
of
the transport industry, right? Like in
right.
okay,
So
okay,
transport industry, but we deal with these hospitals. We deal
right.
with patient wise,
Yep.
and so I see a problem, and I'm wanting to get into. Uh, it's just an idea, but I had this idea.
You're thinking of, obviously you see a communication breakdown at a number of different levels in your industry. And so you want to create sort of like you want to be the quarterback that receives all the plays and the information and then decides where it needs to go so that people can
Right.
very quickly, make their move or get their parents in touch with the right people. No, I
Right.
hear, stuff like that is really cool, especially if you're in an industry where people aren't trying to do that directly.
To get into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's just my idea. So I
No,
don't
it's
know.
it's a good idea, man. Anytime that you can reduce the friction, that currently exists, whether it's through better communication or whatever product or service, man, That's a good idea. I like that. I like that a lot. And what's cool about it is that if you solve that problem, because you're dealing with it at a communication level, you solve that problem for them, dude. You can go into whatever industry you want and do the exact same thing. So that idea is not limited to hospitals and care homes and things like that,
Right, right.
which is
I
cool.
just see it's easier for me because I've already in the like I'm in the space. I know the people.
Yep.
My face is, they know my face, and
Yeah.
so I definitely want to take advantage of that. I don't. I want what really I wanted to do was like
Okay.
provide no idea of what the heck I'm gonna do or
Well,
how I'm gonna do
I
it.
actually got some ideas for you, and let's talk about that offline. I don't want to start talking
Yeah.
too specific or whatever, but that's very similar actually to some of the solutions that we're trying to create. My brother and I, we just had a business meeting, but I talked with an old friend. He just called me out of nowhere and FaceTime, and he really opened my eyes to how desperately needed it is for people to tour the facility before they get in. Exactly
Did
what
you
you're
see that?
talking about.
I watched your video.
Yeah.
I watched it last night.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was watching. So
Yeah,
I get it.
and we were pumped about it because, ultimately, yes, everyone has a camera, yes, everybody has a phone, but we're still lazy. People are still lazy to do a good job with trying. I mean, like you said, marketing sucks, dude. Like it really does, and we know what we want to see, and if we can figure that out and then provide that to people, I mean, there's no limit to that.
Right.
But dude, I get what you're saying. That's a really smart avenue that you're pursuing there. What's in your current business, the one that you're currently working on right now? What's the biggest thing that you're frustrated with, or do you feel like you got a pretty good handle on everything right now?
I think the biggest thing is getting. So the hardest part about these facilities is that um, they don't pay you right away. I think that's the one thing that's the probably the only thing that I hate about it is that
Yeah.
we do a service now, we won't get paid for like 3 months.
What? Oh, is it because it's insurance money
Yeah,
or?
it just has to do with like majority of the money that comes in from the patient to the facility is on insurance. So I'm guessing
Got
it's
it.
just whenever the insurance clears, then they will pay out their bills. That's the biggest problem I've seen. But other than that, it runs smoothly once you get the hang of it, and then if you can strategically align your guys to be in different areas to take
Right.
care of the full area.
Yeah.
Like you're trying. So the one thing that I have found that has helped us is like talking, like literally just talking,
Yeah.
asking them questions, asking them what they like, where they're from, the places they've been, and then listening. Like I don't know,
Do you do
all
you,
these old
Are
people.
you used to that?
Oh,
Like,
sorry.
do you find that this just comes natural to you to ask questions and talk with them, or is that something that you have to develop over time?
I think I've always been curious of people's stories. It's always amazed me. I like growing up in Hawaii. You're so isolated from everybody else. Like, and for me, I've never really traveled at all. And so when I hear about someone from Australia, or when I hear about people from New York, or when I hear about and those stories and what life is like there,
Yeah,
that's cool. Then I tell them like, oh, yeah, I'm from Hawaii. They're like, oh, I love that place. Like, and I get it. Like they love the tourist side of Hawaii, but they haven't seen the other side, like like actually being from there and growing up there, and
yeah,
the hard life that a lot of people down there have. Like they see the money and all that stuff that comes in from the tourist side, and
right.
but they
They
don't
think
see the other side.
they think life is a one big luau over there.
Right, right. And you get that no matter where you go. But I never saw the tourist side until I got married, so I don't like. I'm used to the ghetto side.
Yeah, where is that? Like Haula or
So I'm from Laie, so
La? Yeah, okay.
actually down the street from that hotel that you stayed at when you went down there.
I know what you mean. My mother, when she left Bava Utonga to come to America, she always tells us these like stories, and when people hear, "Oh, you're from the islands," like it just sounds so magical and everything like that. But she was trying to get out, and people often can't wrap their minds around that. Why would you ever want to leave? It's you can't hula dance and tourism your way out of a lot of those situations because they just don't pay enough. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it. The sad and I wouldn't say I shouldn't say sad. The good thing is that some people find those ways, like find that hula dancing and all that stuff to be very beneficial, and they can do it, and it's cool.
Right.
Um, but I hate it.
It's not.
It's not me, man. Like I hate it. So
Dude, I don't know if you knew this, but I grew up actually in the entertainment industry. My whole life, I've been in like a Jackson 5 type of group, singing and
I saw
dancing.
that in your
And
guys in your intro video for
yeah, dude. And my sister's been sending me old videos of me singing Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman, and Boys to Men, In the Still of the Night, a cappella with my brothers. And just my whole life, I've always been in that kind of thing. And so for me, it's like my mom brought that mentality to Canada, but she used it as a tool, right? Like she didn't get caught up that somehow we were gonna, do this forever. She literally did it just so we could get to university, and then get out, And so I think a lot of people who get stuck there just can't break out of that mentality that if you can use that for a good thing, it can help you get out. But I think you're right. Some people, they embrace that life and they just want to live that life. So it's not like they're stuck. They want to be stuck. They want to be
they
there, and that's
well,
cool.
and it's
And it's
cool
not,
if they
yeah.
love
If
it.
they love it, like that's cool. Like stay.
Right.
Yeah.
If they love it, if they feel successful, saying like they had a steady job, dancing and doing all that stuff, cool. Like, but don't push that on me.
Yeah.
Don't push that on me. Don't. I mean, one, I don't care what people think about me. I'm gonna go do it. My wife actually brought this up yesterday. It's like the one thing that I've noticed about you is that whenever you set your mind on something, you are obsessed with it, but it gets done. And I said, oh yeah, I didn't really notice that, but that's cool that you've noticed that. And for me, it's like that's so weird to hear. Like I don't know. And that's why I honestly could say, like, I don't care about what people think. I'm going to go do whatever I want to do, and it's going to get done the way I want it to be done.
Right.
And so,
That's good, man. I love it. I love it. So, what I'm working on right now is, like I said, I'm building a couple of companies, just investing some of our own money into it, to build out like a media arm, a software arm, because
so hold on.
yeah,
Hold on. I want to talk to you more about this offline as well.
okay.
So, whenever we're done
Oh
recording,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, I
No, we
want to
can we
talk
can
about.
shut it down right now. I just because at the same time, and it's funny, we talk about like not showing off and stuff like that, but the truth is, the most interesting thing I think about you and me is that we're not afraid to share our honesty in public, right? Like we're not
Right.
afraid that someone might judge us. Like, dude, I put out videos, and at first my mom or my wife would be like, "Oh, why are you showing all that?" And then, but at the same time, I'm like, who cares? Because to me, what matters is that in practice, I become a better communicator. In doing that, I become a better marketer. I mean, the truth is, no matter what you do in life, sometimes people are just trying to sell themselves to their boss.
Right.
We're just trying to do that at scale. We're trying to like market and build something that's much bigger than that. But when people get confused that somehow they're not selling themselves, that somehow they're not involved in transactions with other people, they are. They're just too afraid to share it. And I
Right.
think that's the most empowering thing I love about social media is that you get to play the yin and the yang of our personalities, which is I hate showing off. I hate telling people what I'm doing because what if I fail? But then on the flip side, we love it that we can do it anyway. And if it doesn't work, big deal. You know,
Right.
I've had so many failed partnerships, investments, this and that. And honestly, I just came full circle and realized I just got to do it for myself. That's the best.
Right.
You just got to invest in your own idea, the things that you want to do. And those are the things that are going to work. But yeah, dude, I'm not confused. Like I get it. A lot of people will look at this and go, "Oh, here they are talking about business in public, dude." Okay, and as opposed to what? Hiding under a rock? If you want to do something bigger, we have to embrace people. You know what I'm saying? We have to embrace others' ideas and conversations because you never know those people that Phil's introducing you to, the people that you pick up in your businesses, like who knows who you're gonna run into, man. You
Right.
could run into the right person on IG that just sets the course straight. Like my buddy, who I told you I kind of had that enlightening conversation with. He just hit me up because I posted on IG. He felt inspired to call me. That led to a conversation that I needed. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love
Right.
about this, man. It keeps us in touch. And especially being like, this is why I love Brothers Business and Barbells because I love picking up where we left off. Like, I don't care. People are busy. Good, man. I'll talk to you when you're not busy.
Right.
But if you really just want to treat people like a brother, just pick up where you left off. All right. So I'll shut this down, but appreciate it, and then we'll keep chatting about some of that other stuff because I want to tell you about a few things that have just been banging around in my head about exactly what you're talking about. All right.
Cool.
All right,
All right,
man.
dude.
All right, Matt. I'll talk to you in a sec.